Hi, this is Dr. Rajeshwar from YR Pharma Tube. This is the continuation from the earlier lecture on physicochemical properties in relation to biological activity. In the last video, we discussed about solubility, partition coefficient, ionization, and dissociation constant and their influence on biological or pharmacological activity. In this video, I tell you about resonance and inductive effects, oxidation reduction potential, the various types of bonding, isosterism and bioisosterism under the heading chemical structural parameters in relation to biological activity. As the title implies, all these parameters are more often related to the structural aspects of drug molecules that influence the biological activity. Let's go to the details. Introduction. One of the long-term objectives of medicinal chemistry is the establishment of relationships of a drug's structural features to its biological or pharmacological activities. This is also referred to as structure-activity relationships. Although qualitative linkages have sometimes been assigned, a quantitative foundation is the goal. Attempts to express pharmacological activity by mathematical means are being made with some success. Both classical qualitative concepts and the newer, more numerical ideas must be taken into consideration to understand drug activities better and more rationally to design and then develop new, more effective and safer drugs. In this statement, numerical ideas means the QSAR data of the drug molecules which are frequently expressed in terms of numerical values. Therefore, both qualitative and quantitative, that is QSAR ideas, have to be put together to develop new, effective and safer drugs. Both these qualitative and quantitative aspects based on the chemical structures of the drug molecules will be discussed under the following sections. Resonance and inductive effects. Number 2, oxidation reduction potential. Number 3, types of bonds or types of bonding. Number 4, isosterism. And number 5, bioisosterism. Coming to the first chemical structural property, resonance and inductive effects. Resonance is a concept stating that if we can represent a molecule by two or more structures that differ only in their electrons but not atomic arrangement, then neither of the representations is satisfactory since the molecule is a hybrid of these possible structures. In the conjugated systems having alternate single and double bonds, resonance causes displacement of electrons from one part of the system to another part, creating centers of high and low electron density. This is called resonance effect. The negative charge on some conjugate bases can be stabilized by resonance. Each structure as depicted contributes to the real structure. Here we see a structure chlorobenzene in two representations, which are resonating structures to each other. In the structure, the electron pair is completely transferred and hence full positive and negative charges appear. Thus, resonance donating effects place extra electron density at the ortho or para positions on the ring. The electrons move via pi bonds or lone pairs. It involves delocalization of pi or n lone pairs of electrons and hence occurs in unsaturated and conjugated systems. The resonance effect are transmitted all along the length of the conjugated system without suffering much change in magnitude. Distance may be long range. Electron density and electron distribution patterns help explain a drug's reactivity. Unlike the theoretical resonance concept, inductive effects are measurable electrostatic phenomena. In the structure of chlorobenzene, during inductive effect, the electron pair is only slightly displaced towards the more electronegative atom, that is chlorine, and hence only partial positive and negative charges appear. Inductive effects are caused by actual electrons shifts or displacements along bonds. These shifts result from attractions exerted by certain groups because of their electronegativity. Thus, groups or atoms that attract electrons more strongly than hydrogen have a negative inductive effect and tend to displace electron density toward themselves. The halogens such as chlorine, bromine, fluorine, etc. are prime examples. Groups with positive inductive effect tend to push electrons into the rest of the molecule. These are usually alkyl groups such as methyl and isopropyl, etc. Inductive effect are transmitted over short distances in saturated carbon chains, and the magnitude of the effect decreases rapidly as distance from the heteroatom increases. The effect almost become negligible beyond 3 carbon atoms from the heteroatom. The effect almost become negligible beyond 3 carbon atoms from the heteroatom. Distance is short range. Inductive effect is based on electronegativity. Electrons moves via sigma bonds, and it involves displacement of only sigma electrons and hence occurs only in saturated compounds. The electronic consequences are a strong influence on physicochemical properties such as acidity. Table below illustrates the acidity constant values of formic acid, acetic acid, chloroacetic acid, and fluoroacetic acids. Using formic acid as a prototype, we note that the positive inductive effect of the methyl group in acetic acid causes an increase in the pKa by a whole unit, which is a 10-fold decrease in acid strength. Conversely, in chloroacetic acid, we find the strongly electronegative element chlorine withdrawing electron density from the carboxyl function, which results in a drop of almost 2 pKa units or a 100-fold increase in acidity. It stands to reason that differences in bioactivity would also occur. Electronic effects in compounds containing aromatic rings are especially pronounced since inductive effects are readily transmitted through such conjugated systems. An interesting example is found in a pair of carcinolytic nitrogen mustard compounds in which the intensity of activity is dependent on the degree of nucleophilic halogen displacement. In structure 2, the para-amino group pushes electrons into the system, resulting in facile chlorine displacement by a nucleophilic species it encounters in a biological environment, therefore exhibiting a cytotoxic effect. The negative induction of the para-chloro atom in structure 3 has the opposite effect, reducing halogen displacement to less than 10% of that exhibited by structure 2. The result is a decreased bioactivity. A group of local anesthetics related to procaine illustrates several of the concepts discussed, particularly the influence of substituents of the aromatic portion of the molecule on pharmacological effects. The local anesthetic effectiveness of this para-amino-benzoic acid ester, that is PABA ester, is believed to be related to the degree of polar character possessed by the ester carbonyl function. Structures 4 and 5 are two resonance forms of procaine, neither of which represents the drug. Rather, a hybrid structure wherein the carbonyl function is partially ionic, that is not totally as in structure 5, would be a more correct representation. To test this hypothesis, it should be possible to vary the anesthetic potency by changing the nature of the para substituent on the benzene ring and relate it to the bond order of the ester carbonyl by measuring its IR, that is infrared stretching frequency. Such a study was done with interesting results and that are summarized in the table. Amino and alkoxy groups are considered electron donors by resonance and thus enhance the dipolar, that is ion character of the carbonyl group, as can be seen by the IR frequency values from the table. Para substituents having a strong electron withdrawing effect result in the carbonyl function having more double bond character and thus less intense local anesthetic activity. Since local anesthetics must penetrate a lipoid membrane, covering the nerve fibers very affect, then it would be prudent also to consider factors such as lipid solubility. It is likely that the aromatic ring here functions both as a conduit for electron movement and contributes very significantly to the lipid solubility of these compounds. The compound without a para substituent, that is only hydrogen, is about 8 times weaker than procaine because the resonance enhancement of the para amino group has been removed. The para nitro group, an electron withdrawing moiety, reduces anesthetic activity an additional 20%. Finally, it is interesting to speculate on the reason for the fivefold greater potency of the para-ethoxy over the para-methoxy compound. The IR frequency would indicate no difference in the polarizing ability of the carbonyl by resonance factors. Yet, the additional CH2 represents a 6% increase in the hydrocarbon nonpolar character of the molecule. It can be safely assumed that this will enhance lipid solubility and therefore penetrability into the nerve fibers to a degree. The second chemical structural property is oxidation reduction potential. Oxidation reduction potentials are expressed in volts relative to the standard hydrogen electrode at 0 volts and represent the tendency of a compound to lose electrons, that is oxidation, or gain electrons, is reduction. Various enzyme systems in respiration reactions such as the cytochromes utilizing ascorbic acid, hemoglobin, as well as reactions in the Krebs cycle, that is the formation of succinic acid and fumaric acid from acetyl coenzyme that involves electron transfers. Drugs can affect all these systems and the consequences must be taken into account. The third property is types of bonding. The types of bonds involved in chemical interaction include the covalent bond, hydrogen bond, ionic or electrostatic bond, van der Waals bond, hydrophobic bond, and charge transfer interactions. The bonds between the ligand and the receptor are assumed to be formed spontaneously when the ligand reaches the appropriate distance from its receptor for bond formation. To achieve this situation, the ligand is transported by either diffusion or a transport protein to the receptor. Covalent bond. The covalent bond is formed by the interaction of electrons from different atoms. In the structure of methane, the carbon is connected to 4 hydrogen atoms. The red dot is the electron from the hydrogen atom and the blue dot is the electron from the carbon atom. Both the atoms are sharing their electrons to form a bond known as the covalent bond. Similarly, the second structure is ammonia, NH3, in which both the nitrogen and hydrogen sharing the electrons to form a covalent bond. In each of the two atoms involved contributes only one electron, then the bond formed and holding them together is known as a single or sigma bond. If each of the two atoms involved contributes only one electron, then the bond formed and holding them together is known as a single or sigma bond. If an additional pair of electrons called pi electrons become involved, then we describe the junction as a double bond. Triple bonds also exist. They consist of one sigma bond and two pi bonds. These covalent bonds are commonly encountered in organic molecules. Their strengths, the energies in terms of heat necessary to break them, are considerably greater than the other bonds to be discussed. Energies range from about 33 kilocalories per mole to over 200. Some of the covalent bonds which are of biochemical importance have been given in the table. At temperatures normally encountered in living matter, that is in between 30 and 40 degrees centigrade, bonds stronger than 10 kilocalories per mole are not likely to be broken by non-enzymatic means. The majority of drugs designed to affect physiological functions do not react with receptors or various biopolymers in our systems by the formation of essentially irreversible covalent bonds. The driving force for the drug receptor interaction can be considered as a low energy state of the drug receptor complex, where K on is the rate constant for formation of the drug receptor complex, which depends on the concentrations of the drug and the receptor, and K off is the rate constant for breakdown of the complex, which depends on the concentration of the drug receptor complex as well as other forces. The biological activity of a drug is related to its affinity for the receptor, that is, the stability of the drug receptor complex. Although very important in traditional organic chemistry, covalent bonds are less important in drug receptor binding than non-covalent interactions. It is generally not desirable to have a drug covalently linked to the receptor, since such as intersection would persist for a long period of time. Such prolonged interactions tend to lead to difficulties with lengthy drug half-lives and potentially to toxicity problems. Accordingly, the only receptors to which covalent binding is desirable are those that belong to exogenous or non-self targets, including bacteria, parasites, viruses, or tumors. In short, it is okay for a drug to covalently bind to a disease-causing bacterium, but it is not okay for a drug to covalently bind to a diseased liver. While most drugs do not covalently attach themselves to their receptors, a few do. Penicillin, one of the most important antibacterial agents of the past century, functions via the formation of covalent bonds. It acts by acylating a bacterial transpeptidase enzyme that is vital to cell wall synthesis within the bacterium. By structurally disrupting the cell wall, penicillin leads to death of the bacterial cells. Bonds to receptor sites are also formed by antiparasitic agents that inactivate the thiol enzymes of a parasite through bonding of a heavy metal such as arsenic, bismuth, lead, etc. to the sulfur atoms in the enzyme's thiol groups. Finally, anti-tumor nitrogen mustards alkylate the amino groups of guanine bases in DNA and cross-link the two strands of the DNA double helix, preventing gene replication and transcription. Mephalon, which is used to treat cancer, owes its action to the strong covalent bonds which it forms with the DNA. Hydrogen bond. Hydrogen bond is usually formed only between hydrogen and electronegative atoms such as fluorine, oxygen, or nitrogen, and to a lesser extent carbon and sulfur. In addition, the atoms capable of forming hydrogen bonds have at least one unshared pair of electrons. Hydrogen bonding is based on an electrostatic interaction between the non-bonding electron pair of a heteroatom like nitrogen, oxygen, and sulfur as the donor and the electron deficient hydrogen atom of hydroxyl, thiol, and amine groups. This interaction is written as AHB. In this structural formula, A and B represents fluorine, oxygen, or nitrogen. AH is one molecule or part of a molecule and B is a part of another molecule, and the dotted line represents the hydrogen bond. For example, hydrogen bonding in water, ammonia, and hydrogen fluoride have shown here. These three atoms usually lie along a straight line, but the angle ABH can deviate as much as 30 degrees from linearity. The compounds that are capable of forming hydrogen bonding are only soluble in water. Proteins are held in a specific configuration by hydrogen bonds, and denaturation of proteins involve the treating of some bonds. Hydrogen bonds are also somewhat weak, having energies ranging from 7 to 40 kilojoules per mole. Since hydrogen bonds are relatively weak, that is 1 to 5 kilocalories per mole, they can be easily dissociated even by warming. Hydrogen bonds are effective only over short distances, usually 3 angstroms or less, and at a very limited range of angles. An approach below 2.4 angstroms between the atoms bring repulsive forces into play. Thus, steric requirements play an important part in hydrogen bonding. Generally, the hydrogen bonding is divided into two types: intermolecular hydrogen bonding and intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Coming to the first kind of hydrogen bonding, that is intermolecular hydrogen bonding, in which hydrogen bonding occurs between two or more molecules. In the first structure, hydrogen bonding occurs between three water molecules. In this type, hydrogen bonding occurs between two or more than two molecules of the same compound and results in the formation of polymeric aggregate. Intermolecular hydrogen bonding increases the boiling point of the compound and is also its solubility in water. The molecules that are able to develop intermolecular hydrogen bonding improve their solubility in the formation of intermolecular hydrogen bonding with water. From this table, for example, ethanol shows higher boiling point and higher solubility in water than dimethyl ether, even though both have same molecular weight. The second type of hydrogen bonding is intramolecular hydrogen bonding. This kind of hydrogen bonding occurs within the molecules. In this type, hydrogen bonding occurs within two atoms of the same molecule. This type of hydrogen bonding is referred to as chelation and frequently occurs in organic compounds. Hydrogen bonding also increases the boiling point of the compound and also its solubility in water. Sometimes this bonding develops a 5 or 6 membered ring. For example, in the structure of orthochlorophenol, the hydrogen atom of the hydroxyl group is connected to chlorine atom, produced a hydrogen bond, and thus forms a 5-membered ring. In a similar manner, a 6-membered ring is produced in the structure of orthonitrophenol. At the same time, this kind of bonding decreases the boiling point of the compound and also its solubility in water. This is because of the fact that the chelation between ortho-substituted groups restricts the possibility of intermolecular hydrogen bonding with water and thus prevents association with the molecules which would have raised the melting point and boiling point. Almost all physicochemical properties such as physical properties, melting point, boiling point, water solubility, etc., and chemical properties such as acid character, properties of carbonyl group, etc., all are affected by hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bonding has considerable importance in stabilizing structures by intramolecular bond formation. Classical examples of such bonding occur in the protein alpha helix and in the base pairs of DNA such as adenine thymine and cytosine guanine as shown in the structures. Surprisingly, hydrogen bonds are probably less important in intermolecular bonding between two structures, that is, the drug and its receptor, in aqueous solution because the polar groups of such structures form hydrogen bonds with the solvating water molecules. There is no advantage in exchanging hydrogen bonding with water molecules for hydrogen bonding with another molecule unless additional stronger bonding brings the two molecules into sufficient proximity. Although among the weakest of chemical links, it is hard to overemphasize the importance of the hydrogen bond. It literally holds the molecules of life in shape and plays a vital part of the functioning of enzymes and the action of drugs. Here are some of the drugs' physicochemical properties that influence the biological activity. Antipyrine has analgesic activity, but 1-phenyl-3-methyl-5-pyrazolone is found to be inactive compound. This is due to the formation of hydrogen bonding in the 1-phenyl-3-methyl-5-pyrazolone and gives rise to the linear polymer, which cannot pass through biomembranes. Their melting points solubility have been found to be different. One forms intermolecular and the other does not form an intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Another example, salicylic acid has antibacterial activity but not the para isomer and meta isomers, that is, meta and para hydroxybenzoic acids are found to be inactive. This is because salicylic acid form intramolecular hydrogen bonding, therefore it is less water soluble and its partition coefficient is also greater. The alkylating agents such as nitrogen mustards are thought to act by replacing the weak and reversible hydrogen bonds between adjacent nucleic acid strands with strong and relatively irreversible covalent bonds. In this way, nucleic acid regeneration and cell division in the rapidly proliferating cancer cells may be inhibited. Coming to ionic or electrostatic bond. An ionic bond is formed when two ions of opposite charge are attracted to each other through electrostatic forces. The strength of this type of bond varies between 5 and 10 kilocalories per mole, and it decreases proportionally to the square of the distance between the two atoms. Electrostatic bonds result entirely from the electrostatic forces and may be between two ions of opposite charge, between an ion and a molecule, or between two molecules. The bond between two ionic species is an ionic bond that exerts a binding strength of about 5 kilocalories per mole. Common salt NaCl is an example. The other example, negatively charged carboxylate and a positively charged ammonium, is a prototype example of an ionic interaction. They are usually reversible. In a biological solution, the most characteristic property of ionic bonds is the ease with which they interchange. Electrostatic bonds may only exist for 10 to the power minus 5 seconds on average because of the large concentrations of ions present in salt solutions. Rapid ion exchange thus results. In spite of their short existence, electrostatic bonds are significant, especially if reinforced by other short-range forces. In the formation of a salt bridge between an amine and a carboxylic acid, a hydrogen bond augments overall bond strength between the ions to as high as 10 kilocalories per mole. A second type of electrostatic bond is between an ion and a molecule that is polarized. That is, electrons exist in a greater density at one end or pole of a neutral or uncharged molecule, giving that pole a partial negative charge while the opposite pole acquires a corresponding partial positive charge. These partial charges are noted by the lowercase letter delta, delta plus, delta minus. Such molecules are said to have a dipole. A dipole may be caused by an electronegative atom. Dipoles can also be induced by the close approach of other molecules. These ion dipole bonds have strengths ranging from 1 to 7 kilocalories per mole. The third type of electrostatic bonding is between two molecules and is caused by dipole-dipole interactions. The insomnia drug Zaleplon is used to demonstrate the ion dipole and dipole-dipole interactions. In the figure, the wavy line represents the receptor cavity. The ability of a drug to bind to a receptor via ionic interactions therefore increases significantly as the drug molecule diffuses closer to the receptor. For protein receptors at physiological pH 7.4, basic groups such as the amino side chains of arginine, lysine, and to a much lesser extent histidine are protonated and therefore provide cationic environment. Acidic groups such as carboxylic acid side chains of aspartic acid and glutamic acid are deprotonated to give anionic groups. Thus, drug and receptor groups will be mutually attracted provided they have opposite charged. The use of charged groups within a drug molecule can be used to influence the pharmacokinetic properties of the molecule. For example, incorporating highly polar charged groups such as sulfonates will decrease a drug's half-life by increasing the rate of renal excretion. Also, charged groups can be used to preclude a drug molecule from traversing the blood-brain barrier. For example, the antidepressant drug pivagabin is hypothetically participate in an ionic interaction with an arginine residue. Van der Waals bond. These bonds, also known as dispersion or London dispersion forces, they are the universal forces responsible for attractive interactions between nonpolar molecules. Atoms in nonpolar molecules may have a temporary non-symmetrical distribution of electron density, which results in the generation of a temporary dipole. As atoms from different molecules such as a drug and a receptor approach each other, the temporary dipoles of one molecule induce opposite dipoles in the approaching molecule. Consequently, intermolecular attractions known as van der Waals forces results. They exist between all atoms, even those of noble gases, and are based on polarizability. The induction of asymmetry in the electron cloud of an atom by a nucleus of a neighboring atom, that is a positive charge. This is tantamount to the induced formation of a dipole. However, although the interaction between induced dipoles set up a temporary local attraction between the two atoms, this non-covalent interaction decreases very rapidly in proportion to 1 by r to the power 6, where r is the distance separating the two molecules. Such van der Waals forces operate within an effective distance of about 0.4 to 0.6 nanometers and exert an attractive force of less than 2 kilojoules per mole. Therefore, they are often overshadowed by stronger interactions. While individual van der Waals bonds make a very low energy contribution to a system, a large number of van der Waals bonds make a very low energy contribution to the system. A large number of van der Waals forces can add up to a sizable amount of energy. This is particularly useful attribute for drugs used in the treatment of cancers, where it is particularly desirable that the drug forms irreversible bonds to the receptors of tumor cells. Hydrophobic bond. The hydrophobic bond is a concept used to explain attractive interactions between non-polar regions of the receptor and the drug. Hydrophobic binding plays an important role in stabilizing the conformation of proteins, in the transportation of lipids by plasma proteins, and in the binding of steroids to their receptors, among other examples. The concept of these indirect forces, first introduced by Kazman in the field of protein chemistry, also explains the low solubility of hydrocarbons in water, because the nonpolar molecules of a hydrocarbon are not solvated in water. Owing to their inability to form hydrogen bonds with water molecules, the latter become more ordered around the hydrocarbon molecule, forming a molecular level interface that is comparable to a gas-liquid boundary. The resulting increase in solvent structure leads to a higher degree of order in the system than exists in bulk water, and therefore a loss of entropy. When the hydrocarbon structures, whether two protein side chains or hexane molecules dispersed in water, come together, they will squeeze out the ordered water molecules that lie between them. In the figure, the triangle shapes or structures are water molecules. The dark wavy line is the hydrocarbon chain of the drug molecule, which is non-polar in nature, and the thin wavy line indicates the non-polar chain of the receptor. Since the displaced water is no longer part of boundary domain, it reverts to a less ordered structure which results in an entropy gain. This change is sufficient to improve the free energy of the system by about 3.4 kilojoules per mole for every methylene group and is tantamount to the bonding energy because it favors the association of hydrophobic structures. Naturally, once the hydrocarbon chains are in sufficient proximity, van der Waals forces become operative between them. Charge transfer interaction. When a molecule or a group that is a good electron donor comes into contact with a molecule or group that is a good electron acceptor, the donor may transfer some of its charge to the acceptor. This forms charge transfer complex, which is a molecular dipole-dipole interaction. The potential energy of this interaction is proportional to the difference between the ionization potential of the donor and the electron affinity of the acceptor. Donor groups contain pi electrons such as alkenes, alkynes, and aromatic moieties with electron donating substituents, or groups that contain a pair of non-bonded electrons such as oxygen, nitrogen, and sulfur moieties. Acceptor groups contain electron deficient pi orbitals such as alkenes, alkynes, and aromatic moieties having electron withdrawing substituents and weakly acidic protons. There are groups on receptors that can act as electron donors such as the aromatic ring of tyrosine or the carboxylate group of aspartic acid. Charge transfer interactions are believed to provide the energy for intercalation of certain planar aromatic antimalarial drugs such as chloroquine into parasitic DNA. The fungicide chlorothalonil is used as a hypothetical example for a charge transfer interaction with an amino acid that is tyrosine. The energy for charge transfer interactions also can range from -1 to -7 kilocalories per mole. Isosterism. Isosters were defined as those compounds or groups of atoms that have the same number and arrangement of electrons. Isosters that were isoelectric, that is, with the same total charge as well as the same number of electrons, would possess similar physical properties. For example, the molecules nitrogen and carbonyl group both possess 14 total electrons and no charge and show similar physical properties. Related examples described by Longmuir were carbon dioxide and nitrous oxide, diazomethane and formaldehyde. With increased understanding of the structures of molecule, less emphasis has been placed on the number of electrons involved because variations in hybridization during bond formation may lead to considerable differences in the angles, lengths, and polarities of bonds formed by atoms with the same number of peripheral electrons. Even the same atom may vary in its structural and electronic characteristics when it forms part of a different functional group. Thus, nitrogen is part of a planar structure in the nitro group but forms the apex of a pyramidal structure in ammonia and amines. Groups of atoms that impart similar physical and chemical properties to a molecule because of similarities in size, electronegativity, or stereochemistry are now frequently referred to by the general term of isoster. Hinsberg developed the concept of ring equivalents, that is, functional groups that can be exchanged for another in aromatic ring systems without drastic changes in physicochemical properties relative to the parent structure. Benzene, thiophene, and pyridine illustrate this concept. A CH double bond CH group in benzene is replaced by a divalent sulfur in thiophene, and a CH double bond is replaced by the trivalent nitrogen to give pyridine. The physical properties of benzene and thiophene are very similar. Therefore, it can be concluded that divalent sulfur must resemble C double bond C in shape, and these groups were considered to be isosteric. Note that hydrogen atoms are ignored in this comparison. This isosteric relationship is seen in many drugs, for example, H1 receptor antagonists. Compounds may be altered by isosteric replacements of atoms or groups to develop analogues with select biological effects or to act as antagonists to normal metabolites. Each series of compounds showing a specific biological effect must be considered separately because there are not general rules that predict whether biological activity will be increased or decreased. For example, the 6 amino group and 6 hydroxyl groups appear to play essential roles in the hydrogen bonding interactions of base pairs during nucleic acid replication cells. Adenine, hypoxanthine, and the antineoplastic 6-mercaptopurine illustrate how substitution of the significantly weaker hydrogen bonding isosteric sulfhydryl groups results in a partial blockage of this interaction and a decrease in the rate of cellular synthesis. Similarly, replacement of the hydroxyl group of terroyl glutamic acid, that is folic acid, by the isosteric amino group and addition of the methyl group to the PABA leads to the widely used methotrexate, a folate antimetabolite. Replacement of the hydrogen at the fifth position of uracil with the isosteric fluorine producing 5-fluorouracil that blocks the methylation step leading to thymine. As a better understanding of the nature of the interactions between drug metabolizing enzymes and biological receptors develops, selection of isosteric groups with particular electronic solubility and steric properties should permit the rational preparation of drugs that act more selectively. At the same time, results obtained by the systematic application of the principles of isosteric replacement are aiding in the understanding of the nature of these receptors. Coming to the last chemical structural parameter, that is bioisosterism. It is difficult to relate biological activities to physicochemical properties of individual atoms, functional groups, or entire molecules because many physicochemical parameters are involved simultaneously and therefore are difficult to quantitate. That is why it is necessary to introduce the term bioisosterism to describe functional groups related in structure that have similar biological effects. Harris I. Friedman introduced the term bioisosterism and defined as they are the substituents or functional groups or molecules that have physical or chemical similarities and related molecular shapes and which produce similar biological properties. Bioisosterism is an important lead modification approach that has been shown to be useful to attenuate toxicity or to modify the activity of a lead and may have a significant role in the alteration of the pharmacokinetics of a lead compound. These are divided into classical bioisosters and non-classical bioisosters. Classical bioisosters are atoms, ions, or molecules in which peripheral layers of electrons can be considered to be identical. They are further subdivided into monovalent, divalent, trivalent, tetravalent, and ring equivalents. The examples of structures have been shown here in individual tables. Substitution of hydrogen with fluorine is a common monovalent isosteric replacement. Sterically, hydrogen and fluorine are quite similar with their van der Waals radii measuring 1.2 and 1.35 angstroms respectively. Because fluorine is the most electronegative element, any differences in biological activity resulting from replacement of hydrogen with fluorine can be attributed to this property. A classical example of a hydrogen replacement of fluorine is development of the antineoplastic agent, that is 5-fluorouracil, which is obtained from uracil. Another example is in which the chlorine of chlorothiazide has been replaced with bromine or a trifluoromethane group. In the table, we can see the different quantitative physicochemical properties such as hydrophobicity, that is pi, and the Hammett substituent constant, that is sigma, and steric constant value, that is Es, have been given for comparison of the functional groups for their selectivity. Example 3, an amino group for a hydroxyl group in folic acid. The amino group is capable of mimicking the tautomeric forms of folic acid and providing the appropriate hydrogen bonds to the enzyme active site. A tetravalent bioisosteric replacement study was done with a series of alpha tocopherol analogues. Alpha tocopherol has been shown to scavenge lipoperoxyl and superoxide radicals and to accumulate in heart tissue. This is thought to be a part of mechanism of action to reduce cardiac damage resulting from myocardial infarction. All of the bioisosteric analogues were found to produce similar biological activity. Non-classical bioisosters. They are replacements of functional groups not defined by classical definitions. In other words, they do not have the same number of atoms and do not fit the steric and electronic rules of the classical isosters, but do often produce similar biological activities. Some of these groups, however, mimic special arrangements, electronic properties, or some other physicochemical property of the molecule or functional group critical for biological activity. Example is the use of a double bond to position essential functional groups into a particular special configuration critical for activity. This is illustrated in the figure here with the naturally occurring hormone estradiol and the synthetic analog diethylstilbestrol. The trans isomer of diethylstilbestrol has approximately the same potency as estradiol, whereas the cis isomer is only 1/14th as active. In the trans configuration, the phenolic hydroxyl groups mimic the correct orientation of the phenol and alcohol in estradiol. This is not possible with the cis isomer, and more flexible analogues have little or no activity at all. Example 2. Non-classical replacement is that of a sulfonamide group for a phenol in catecholamines. Bioisosteric replacement of metahydroxy of isoproterenol with a sulfonamido group and similar hydrogen bonding capacity to a possible drug receptor. With this example, steric factors appear to have less influence on receptor binding than acidity and hydrogen bonding potential of the functional group on the aromatic ring. Both the phenolic hydroxyl of isoproterenol and the acidic proton of the aryl sulfonamide have nearly the same pKa, that is approximately 10. Both groups are weakly acidic and capable of losing a proton and interacting with the biological target as anions. Because the replacement is not susceptible to metabolism by catechol O-methyltransferase enzyme, it has also the added advantage of increasing the duration of action and making the compound orally active. By making a bioisosteric replacement, one or more of the following parameters will change: size, shape, electronic distribution, lipid solubility, water solubility, pKa, polarizability, chemical reactivity, and hydrogen bonding. It is because of these subtle changes that bioisosterism is effective. These approaches allow the medicinal chemist to tinker with only some of the parameters to augment the potency, selectivity, and duration of action and to reduce toxicity. Thus, bioisosteric modifications made to a molecule may have one or more of the following aspects: structural, receptor interactions, pharmacokinetics, and metabolism. Structural. If the moiety that is replaced by a bioisoster has a structural role in holding other functionalities in a particular geometry, then size, shape, polarizability, and hydrogen bonding may be affected. Receptor interactions. If the moiety replaced is involved in a specific interaction with a receptor or enzyme, then all of the parameters except lipid and water solubility may be affected. Pharmacokinetics. If the moiety replaced is necessary for absorption, transport, and excretion of the compound, then lipophilicity, hydrophobicity, pKa, and hydrogen bonding may be affected. Metabolism. If the moiety replaced is involved in blocking or aiding metabolism, then the metabolic reactivity may be affected. These are all the sources of this present lecture. This is the end of the lecture on chemical structural properties in relation to biological activity. Yet we have some more physicochemical properties such as molar refractivity, drug shape, surface tension, complexation, and protein binding. We will discuss them in our next lecture on spatial considerations in relation to biological activity. That is all for today, and see you in my next lecture. Please subscribe to this channel so that you will never miss my lectures. Keep learning and keep watching my videos. Thank you for watching this video.